Welcome to the Best Damn Podcast. This is your host, Jill Lagan, CEO of the Boulder City Chamber of Commerce. In each episode, we will highlight what makes Boulder City, home of the Hoover Dam, the ideal place to operate your small business, explore world-class tourism attractions, and discover why we are the perfect place to live and unwind. We have a very special lady here today, and I can't wait to get to know her a little better. And very important information, especially as we come into this next spring, summer season. But here in the Vegas area, this is important information year-round. So I am excited to introduce you to Miss Lynette Porter. She is a certified infant swimming resource instructor with ISR Boulder City. Welcome, Miss Lynn, as the kids know you.
Thank you, Jill. It's a pleasure to be here today.
We are so glad to hear from you and to learn more about this business. Such an important tool and such an important resource, not only for parents to know and to have, but the little people to learn. And so can you share a little bit about what it is that you do and who you teach?
So I am a certified ISR instructor, and I teach out of my home here in Boulder City. And what I teach is skills for children to learn to self-rescue. So if they fall in that water, they know how to either roll back and float, which air is the most important thing. If a child's in that water, they need to be able to get their air. So if they know how to float, they can get that air. Saves them time so that they can get self-rescued. The older kids will learn a swim, float, swim sequence where they'll get to the side of the pool or be able to get to the steps to get themselves out, which is a full swim and then a float to rest and then swim again. So I'm teaching children 6 months to 5 years old how to self-rescue in the water.
Okay, so swim, float, swim. You just made that statement. Older kids, you can teach them to go a little bit, flip over, take a little breather.
Yes.
And then flip back and swim a little bit more.
Yes.
Okay,
So the children's 6 months, we start at 6 months, as long as they're sitting up independently. They've got those abdominal muscles to be able to hold themselves and roll in that water. And then to a year, they're going to learn to roll back to float. And they just stay there and wait till someone comes and gets them. And then the older kids, a year, 12 months or 18 months or to 5 years old are going to learn the swim, float, swim sequence.
Interesting. How cool is that?
Yes.
Yeah, I never really thought about that. And so then do you go, you just said you teach at your pool here in Boulder, but do you go to other people's homes? Can they hire you privately to come into their home and teach in their environment?
Absolutely. So I teach in the afternoons at my home right here in Boulder City. It's one-on-one. I only have one child in the water at a time.
Okay.
The 10 minutes are a little bit different because the lessons are 10 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
5 days a week.
Wow.
For 6 weeks.
Wow,
And
that's a
they're
commitment.
Skilled.
But
they're skilled. It's a commitment, but it does go fast. It does go really fast.
Wow.
And then I also teach in Henderson at the Heritage Aquatic Pool.
Okay.
I rent a lane there, and then I do lessons there just in the winter. So I start February 2nd.
Okay.
And I start a whole new session, and those are my winter. And the nice part about that session, those kids will be skilled before spring break.
Right.
So if you're planning any pool vacations or vacations that their kids are going to be near water, they're going to have that skill already.
And those parents
set.
are going to have a little bit more of a feeling of, okay, I think we've got this.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Security.
And then I also do private lessons. So every morning in the spring to the fall, I drive to Summerlin.
Oh.
And I do private lessons for people who hire me that come to their home, and I do lessons there.
Okay, great. Okay, so that was my question is, do they have to come all the way out to Boulder? Because I would imagine the Vegas Valley needs you.
There are 7 other ISR instructors in the Valley.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we're all independent consultants, so we run our own businesses, but we all work under the umbrella of ISR. So we have certain regulations that we have to follow and certain parameters and protocols that we follow for every child that comes in the water before they start to swim.
And that's the certified part of this?
Yes.
Through them?
Yes.
And what does ISR stand for?
Infant Swimming Resource.
Huh. And it's an international or national organization?
It's international.
Wow.
Yes. So we go through training, 6 weeks training in the water and in a classroom setting where we learn the process of how to teach the kids the sequences. And we learn medical and we learn diseasing process of children, what we're looking for in the water. And so it's a pretty intense. And then every year we have to do CMEs and be recertified every year.
Wow. Man, that is so great to know.
Yes.
And I would imagine doing it one-on-one because kids all learn differently. And so you'll have to learn different techniques for teaching at their level.
Yes. So we teach on a behavioral process. So I evaluate the child medically first if they have any disabilities, autism, Down syndrome. I have a lot of children who have heart palpitations, have had things before they were born or once they were born that are medical that I need to watch, things like that in the water. So every child is evaluated and I adapt to what their learning process is, especially the autistic children, and how they are going to react to the water and how they're going to react to me. And I either slow it down or speed it up and teach them how to process on a behavioral level.
Do you note those kids with special needs such as that? Do they calm down in the water?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Totally imagine that.
Yeah. Depending on, there's many different things. Some don't like to be touched around the head or the arm. So I have to adapt and make sure that they're learning appropriately for that child. But most of the kids, once they learn the process and start gaining that confidence in the water, they all relax and they all start to play and they enjoy it. So much more. That confidence builds.
And for so many of them, routine is really important. So I can imagine the same time every day, 10 minutes, it's a big deal.
Yes. So we try to get that child before they're worn out. So that 10-minute lesson is so important because we want to capture their attention before we lose it on every child. 10 minutes, that's it.
I can imagine.
And then that repetition of Monday through Friday is what really helps the learning process.
I'm loving that. I just had no idea that so much goes into the thought process. And then you don't think about being able to include every child.
And every child is different. I cannot compare them. I cannot say they should be at this point at this week. And I just look at them and adapt and go and adapt it to each child.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I love that concept.
Yes.
Okay, loving that now parents have a little more security. They feel a little bit more confident. Obviously, we still need to take the same precautions by keeping the pool locked up, whether it's behind a fence or the door's locked. But those things happen, and it may not be within the ability for the parent to think of everything. And so now that kids have these resources and the tools that they need for survival, and then for the time that they need for a parent to rescue them, do you have stories? I would imagine that after kids have gone through these programs, do you have stories of success from parents that have taken the class?
Yes. Yeah. So let's go back to those protection layers. We talk about 5 layers of protection.
Okay.
We talk about doors being locked to the pool area or to the backyard area. We talk about getting those locks up high so they can't get to them. And we talk about alarms on the doors. We talk about pool fences. It's very important to have a fence around your pool and have it obstacle free, meaning no chairs or no planters or anything so those children can climb up over that fence. They're very resourceful and they'll get over that fence if they want to. So we have to watch all that. Then we talk about having ISR lessons or a self-rescue style of lessons. And then we talk about attention in the water. When your kids are in the water, you should be in the water with them within an arm's length away. I hand out water watcher cards. So what that is the lanyard that people can wear if they're having multiple kids in the pool at the same time. You designate one person to be a water watcher.
Okay.
And that way there are people watching the water at all times. And it's a 10 or 15-minute job. You turn it over to someone else after that. Because most of the time the accidents are happening when everyone's there but no one's really watching.
Isn't that crazy? So in our household, we talk about it before the party even starts. So there's always somebody that's been assigned that and before we even get there. Hey, this time I'm going to let you guys get to visit. I'll hang out with the kids. And so they're
Perfect.
It's almost the thought process in advance. I just want to make sure somebody is designated and they know that's their job and they're not changing that job.
Yes.
And of course, they'll get a break because one of us will go help. But I can imagine that having that shift, that card concept, what a great idea.
I can get you some. I can get anyone who wants them. I have them for free. I'll just get them to you.
Okay.
There's just a lanyard that says, I'm a water watcher. Don't talk to me. I'm not going to be on my phone. I'm going to watch the kids.
Wow, I love that. What a great concept and such a simple thing.
Yes, such a simple thing. Yeah. So those are the layers of protection that we want to keep in place. And yes, I have lots of stories. I have lots of stories of parents that are Oh, I was out gardening and so just fell in the water and they turned over and floated and I just let them because that's what they were supposed to do. Or so most of my children or my parents that report to me that have gone through ISR, they're floating. The parents will find them floating.
Floating.
Yes, so that this is it. That's the life-saving skill that we need. Where the statistics are that our children 4 and under, number one cause of accidental death is drowning.
Oh, no.
Second leading cause of death of children 5 to 14, second cause is drowning.
Wow.
First cause is car accidents.
Oh, that's so
So
sad.
our statistics are very high, at least 4,000 a year in the United States, and that's almost 10 a day. Are
Car
drowning.
accidents, we can't say are preventable because they're accidents,
They're
right?
accidents.
But drownings really feel like there's the opportunity to really cut down on that.
Yeah, that's what my job is all about.
Yeah.
Prevention, drowning
Yeah.
prevention.
We are so glad that people like you exist.
Thank you.
Yes.
I love my job. I'm passionate about it. A lot of the times I'm there teaching the parents as well as their
Right.
child in the water. So I'm talking about what they need, those 5 layers of protection, talking about how they can continue this in the water. And so I'm educating the parents as well as.
Well, you said it, continuing, because
Yes.
those kids need to always be reminded every season. They may be out of the water 9 months, and so now it's time to think about that again.
Yes.
And remind those kids of what that looks like and how to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, those parents need to learn that.
Yes. Drowning is 12 months because it can happen at any
Right.
time. So one thing that we do is pretty unique with ISR is before they graduate with me or they're done with their training, they come in the water in clothes. So we bring them in fully clothed with shoes, clothes, diapers. So they experience as if they were to fall in that water with clothing on, that they know the feeling of the weight of the clothes being socked down with water, or just the clothes alone. Some kids get very emotional if they get their clothes wet, so they can have a little panic attack or because they got their clothes wet or just the accident of falling in. So we do summer clothes and then we do winter clothes. So we layer them up with winter clothes because we teach all over, so that there are some kids that fall in the water with winter coats on in ponds, lakes, rivers. There's any type of body of water. So we want to teach them to be able to survive and know that it's okay. If you fall in, you still do the same thing. You
Right.
turn and float.
Man, I love that and would never have even thought about that.
Yes, yeah. So drowning can happen at any time, anywhere.
One of the questions I always ask is, have you had an aha moment within your business? But it almost feels like these are aha moments. Everything you said, I've had an aha moment. So I would imagine that, can you even think of anything that really stands out?
I just get proud of my kids. Once they start, you see that they're turning, they're learning, and they turn over, and I get proud of every single one of my kids that come in the water with me, and we celebrate, and we jump, and we clap, and the more clapping that they get from their parents
Yes.
or the people on the sideline, they just get prouder, and you can just see that in the water.
Oh, yeah.
And they get proud of themselves when they do it correctly.
Gosh dang.
Yeah,
How-
so every day and a lot of times I'll have parents on the side, they'll be like, "Are you still doing that? Are you still helping them?" I'm like, "No, that's them. They're doing it all by themselves." And they're like, "What? They're doing it all by themselves?" I'm like, "Yes, they are. That's them. They're doing it."
It's hard to think of a little person like that, a little being,
Yeah.
having the knowledge or skill set to flip. And I don't know why we think of that being any different, but videos or films or whatever of infants that they throw in the water early on and their eyes are wide open and they're just doing their thing. And you're thinking, man, I would have totally panicked as an adult because that's the learned behavior I have.
Right.
But their learned behavior is how to manage that. Wow,
Right.
that is so cool.
Yeah. And we always simulate a fall in. ISR is not one that's going to throw their baby into the water. So it's all
Yeah.
a simulated
Yeah,
fall.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I
it's
would-
all controlled and simulated. There are copycat people out there that are throwing the babies in the water. Please make sure your instructor is a certified ISR instructor.
What trauma that would be as an adult to throw their child in. As a mom, I would just be mortified. I would never do it.
Right. Right.
That sounds like a dad job.
Oh, yes. We do get the dads out there that are, once the kids are fully skilled, they're tossing them.
Okay, so you gave us a little bit of your schedule, but can you kind of walk it through for this coming year? What does your schedule look like so people know how to plan ahead?
So plan ahead now. My schedule's filling up.
Wow.
So I start in February. I do have a couple spots left still if they want to do a morning session at Heritage Pool, which is 12 minutes away from here.
And is that enclosed?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Indoor, heated, wonderful pool, nice environment, quiet in the mornings. And
Perfect.
and again, one-on-one.
Okay.
And then I will start in March. I have a 4-week refresher. So my kids that are already skilled, already have taken the ISR, I want them to be ready for summer. So they're going to come back and do a 4-week refresher with me. It's Monday through Thursday, which is new for me this year. I'm going to do Monday through Thursday for the kids who are already skilled.
Okay.
And still same thing, 10 minutes, 10-minute day for that Monday through Thursday. And that way they're ready to go for summer. They're ready to go for the pool. They've got that confidence built back up.
Yeah.
And then I'll have 2 sessions here in Boulder City and in the afternoons starting in May and then all the way to from July to August. So I set it up so that we're not in the water during 4th of July. So that vacation time, we will be out of the water. And those are in the afternoons.
Okay.
And then I do my mornings still in Summerlin every morning.
Okay, so I just had a question pop into my head. Okay, so I've got an older adult child or a teenage child that has special needs, and I worry about them around water. Can you, obviously right now you're 6 months to 5 years, but do you have the ability to train or teach people with special needs? Maybe it is Downs or whatever. Do you have the ability to work with an older person as well?
I can. Yes, absolutely I can. Yeah, it's a little harder sometimes when our process is I'm picking up and placing the children in the right position for success for turning. And if they're a little bit older, it's a little bit harder to turn or place. But there's different techniques that I can do.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
So is that an ISR thing? Do they offer an additional programming for that?
They do not.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Ultimately, we want to get them when they're younger.
Right.
Because especially the affinity to water, they're going to be attracted to it more.
Right.
So we want to get those skills in when they're younger.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. That's where we really want to drill that home. I just wondered if that was something that, parents of so many that have special needs children, that as a teen, as an adult, they're still somewhat of the same mental capacity of a 2 to 5 year old, right?
Correct.
And so I wonder if safety for them is
definitely be the type of instruction, the way we teach behavioral sciences would be directed toward them. So yeah, we can. And my older kids that are 5 to 6, I still have parents that bring them back, and I'll start developing them into stroke development. So that they'll be doing more of a breaststroke, a freestyle, or a backstroke. And my parents love that. And we can do that in a maintenance where they only twice a week or once a week, and I can work on those strokes. Especially at Heritage Pool. I love that because I can have the full length of the pool and we can go clear down and learn. I have many of my children that have gone on to swim teams.
Oh, wow. Because they had that confidence so early on.
Yeah, and that roll back to float teaches them that side turn. So they can do freestyle, super easy.
Oh, yeah.
So they turn that head to roll back to float.
Yeah.
And now they can turn that head just to get a freestyle breath.
Wow.
So
see, another aha moment.
Yes.
I'm learning so much from you, Miss Lynn. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, I love to learn a little bit more about the behind the scenes. Who made you who you are today? And so can you share with us what your first job was?
First job, of course, was babysitting. Because everyone just does that. At 11 or 12 years old, I grew up in Iowa, so just had a great relationship with my family and friends and neighbors, and was doing babysitting. And then, of course, you work at the mall. And then I actually left Iowa and moved to California.
Okay.
And was a flight attendant for a very elite airline.
Wow.
In Los Angeles, outside of Los Angeles. It was a semi-private airline. We flew only grand class people. It was a MGM Grand Air.
Yeah.
And
how fun is
very
that?
elite, very high-ended movie stars, directors. And I did that for 7 years. And then
I bet you have some stories there.
I have some great stories with that. And then I moved here to Las Vegas after the airline. It was Kirk Kerkorian's airline, so he directed most of his money right into the hotels here in Vegas. And moved here and went back to school, and I became a paramedic here in the Las Vegas Valley. So I have a lot of medical background. So that helps with ISR, and it helps with the daily routines of the children, making sure that they're safe and they're not sick and they're safe in the water.
Because I would imagine if they were sick, that impedes their ability to really learn.
Correct. Yeah. We have a BUDS, a questionnaire every time before they get into the water. How's their bowels, how's their urine, have they eaten anything, are they sick, do they have a cough, things like that, before they ever actually get into the water with us daily.
Very smart, because think about all those little people germs that you're around all the time.
Correct. It helps protect me and helps protect the other swimmers.
Ooh, yeah. Yucky. That is a yucky thought I had not thought about. That's not an aha moment. That's a gross moment.
So then I have a very good friend, Gail Robinson, who is an ISR instructor here in Las Vegas, and she got me into the ISR.
Oh, wow.
So you have to do this. You've got the background, you've got swimming knowledge. And
thank you, Gail, for making sure Boulder City had access to such a great resource. I think that's awesome. Okay, so here's one of my favorite questions, and it's because I enjoy reading, enjoy learning. So can you tell us what book you're reading right now?
Okay, when I drive to Summerlin last year between March and October, I drove over 14,000 miles.
That's crazy.
I know. It's 100 miles a day.
Oh, man.
I listen to audiobooks.
Wow.
So I love listening to audiobooks. And so I have to say the one that I loved the most was Have You Seen Luis Velez? And by Catherine Ryan Hyde.
And what genre is that?
It's a little, I'm not sure, but it's just a heartfelt story about being kind.
Oh, wow.
Being kind, yeah.
So relationships I love that. That sounds great. I'm going to check her out.
Yeah.
I was interested. I have not heard of her or that book, and so when I read that, I thought, man, I got to find out what that's all about.
Yeah, I think you'd like it.
Very good.
Yeah.
And I would imagine you need to have a kind heart to work with children. So that and patience.
Yes, definitely.
That is awesome. And our final question is, what have you enjoyed, or has there been something special about being an investor in the chamber that has been advantageous to you?
I just love to see the growth that you are doing here. Just within the last few years, you've just really upped it and really have highlighted the businesses and kept us informed, and just really have so many fun events and just include all of us in on all of them. And the education that you're putting out there for us as businesses to excel and be in contact with other businesses is just wonderful.
Thank you. We will keep doing that for you and for all of the others. And we're glad to be a part of that. We're glad to have you as an investor in this organization, and especially because you bring such an amazing skill set that more people need to know about. So we need to communicate this even better. So thank you so much for all that you do. Thanks for all your service to the youth for so long. And I cannot wait to start sharing this message and getting more of my young friends aware of what they should be doing, especially if they're got an invitation to my pool. They should definitely already have been through an ISR program.
I love it. Thank
you. Have a super day.
Thank you, Jill.
This episode of the Best Damn Podcast has been a production of the Boulder City Chamber of Commerce. Please check out all the links and social media handles on our website as well at bouldercitychamber.com. You can find the Best Damn Podcast on all your favorite podcast directories. Like us and share on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next time, discover, explore, and unwind in Boulder City.